For presentations and workshops with Council. Ms Jakes.
So this item is just to look at your consideration in terms of a process for deciding what workshops and what presentations are to come to Council, and then to consider what would be a workshop. On 13(1), there's some suggestions in terms of what might define a workshop. So information only, items that require far more discussion, and then presentations which would be held as part of the council meeting. The suggestions there around the auditing of the service agreements that we have, and items that have got a more wider general public interest. So happy to take any questions.
Okay, well, as it says here in the conclusion, it's important that the community has access to us to present, whether they're coming later to ask for help with that presentation or whether it's just for your information, such as Maraka that's been listed on here. Wonderful dairy factory that's happening out there at Turapaki. So really it's a roadmap for the public to get to us and for us to adhere to. So any questions on that? Councillor Dano?
So what different is that roadmap compared to now?
Well, there's an element at the moment of not actually having a roadmap. It's just sort of has happened a little bit ad hoc. So where we will go to the next item and we will discuss. We've got some applications there already in the next item of people that want to come and do presentations. We'll discuss those and we'll move so you know what's coming in the next month or so, either to meetings or to workshops. Is that correct?
Yeah, and it is about your decision as to what.
And we have had councillors ask if they want presentations to come along. So rather than the decision just be mine when I'm setting up the agenda, we've said it comes here. You make the decision who you want to hear from or not hear from, and we'll move forward from there. Is that right? Yeah. I didn't mind making those decisions, but there have been councillors that have pointed out they didn't think it was fair that certain people they wanted to come and do presentations, etc. I said no to, so you can make the decisions yourselves.
So what forum are we going to make those decisions in?
Next agenda item, every agenda item at every council meeting going forward. If you're happy to adopt this as a type of policy, so we know how we're working.
So item 14 has been drafted based on the fact that you would approve this item.
It's just a roadmap. How do you get somewhere? Well, that's how you get somewhere. And so there's a suggested resolution, if everybody's happy with that, that the content of the report is noted and the process for considering presentation request to council as outlined to be approved, and all those different types of presentations there are. Move Councillor Johnson. Second, Councillor Truman. All those in favour? Okay. Moved. So, did everybody get this a handout to go with this item number 14? We'll start with the front of it, which is the meeting dates, and then we'll move to the issue we were just talking about. Anybody have any issues with those meeting dates that are listed there for December on the front of the page? Thursday, I'll be there. Kirsty. Yeah, I'll be sorry, Councillor Truman. Yeah, I was getting to that one. Turangi-Tongariro Community Board, 6th of December is okay. Councillor Kipper. TAA Committee's okay. Lake Taupo Protection Joint Committee, that's okay. It's not set by us anyway. We do have a citizen ceremony on Tuesday. We have a council meeting on the Tuesday after the citizenship ceremony. There's something we're going to slip in on the back there in a minute. Councillor Downard and I were wondering if there's any reason with councillors firstly or staff secondly, this long-term plan financials Friday 16th, can that be brought forward to Thursday 15th? I was hoping to go away, and Councillor Downard's got to make hams at M21 if anybody wants to buy one.
Sorry. Through the chair, depending on how Wednesday the 14th goes, we might need it.
But if we did need it,
If we
could
did
we
need
do
it,
on
we
the
could do it
Thursday?
on the Thursday, yes.
So if we did need it, could we do it Thursday?
Yes.
Staff are happy with that?
We will make it happen.
Governance happy with that? Yes. So if we could change that, please, to Thursday, if needed. 15 December. If we move further down there, there's two retrospective we need to approve, because in this process from now on, also in the first year, I've tried to, anybody needed training or wanting to go to courses and things like that, I've approved it. The process is not quite like that. It should always come to Councillor Downer.
Oh no, I'll let you finish. Yeah,
Should come for approval by Council. So retrospectively, Councillor Williams needs approval to attend the Representation Review Workshop in Wellington on the 14th of November. Also for Councillor Williams, retrospective approval to attend No House Economic Leadership Forum Wellington on the 23rd of November. And not retrospectively, but next year, Councillor Crate has asked for permission or prior approval to attend the 2 Walk and Cycle Conference to be held in Hastings from 22 to 24th February 2012. And I will note that the costs are within the annual budget to do so. For Councillors. Councillor Downer?
Yeah, Mrs. Jakes, just with the annual budget, like, is that just one lump sum, or each councillor has a part of that annual budget?
No, it's one lump sum.
20,000.
And that's one of the reasons that this comes to it's going to be coming to council, so that you can have a say in terms of which councillors go to these.
From my memory, is 20,000 as an annual budget for conferences, etc.
Sorry.
That's
So,
right.
for instance, say, we've allocated this and it's within the annual budget, and then 3 months towards the end, I go to apply to go away on conference and there's no more budget left yet. I haven't been away on a conference. What happens then?
Well, if you're talking about local government conference next year, that's...
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about any conference that I decide to go
If
to.
you run out of budget, we'll have to have a look at it, won't we? There'll be unapproved budgeted expenses if it was necessary, which throws your budget to hell. Okay, so if you can move over to the back. This here is an issue, I haven't been able to catch up with Councillor Mincher yet, but with the advent of Councillor Hickling have a little bit of a sick period there, and I can assure everybody he's on the road to recovery, and that's great, and will be back with us in the new year. He's been our sole representative on the Waikato Regional Transport Committee, and I was wanting today to just to make sure that the process is correctly followed, that we approve Councillor Mincher as his deputy to be appointed to ensure that Council is represented at those meetings when Councillor Hickling cannot make it.
And also the Regional Passenger Transport Committee as well. There's two there.
Which has hearings in March next year, submissions and hearings, which I'm 100% confident Councillor Hickling will be well and truly able to handle at that time. I'm getting a frown.
Just to clarify, the actual hearings are going to be on the regional transport strategy, and which I understand appointments will be made from the regional transport committee, as opposed to so it's not the passenger transport. They've actually already been. Probably needs to add to that on what happened on Monday.
Yeah, I think, Rick, Councillor Mincher, you went to one on Monday, didn't you? Just gone?
Yes, I did. And the hearing committee is in March, and Barry has been put forward. We would like to have him on that committee, so on the hearing committee. So that's been well and truly, and they've decided that's okay by them. So, but they haven't made the final decision.
Okay, well done, because there was moves afoot where I think there was some changes in the wind, but that's good to hear that Councillor Hickling retains that position.
And then there's myself and. Excuse me, I've forgotten his name offhand, have been put as backup if Barry is not available.
That's good. Excellent. Okay, if all fellow councillors are happy with that, we'll move on to requests. Now, this list of requests are people that want to come and do presentations to council. We simply can't hear from them all. Taupo Fishery Animal Health Board, Waikato Regional Council, Te Aroa River Iwi Trust, Taupo Sculpture Trust, about a giant cycle sculpture, and Phil King. Now, I've got a suggestion here that on the morning of the citizenship ceremony, which starts at 10 o'clock, they never go more than an hour. So we're thinking at 11 o'clock, if we could have, we'll have Philip King at 11 o'clock for 30 minutes, and he will talk about what he's going to be spending the $4.8 million, including GST, over 3 years grant from central government on infrastructure in Lake Taupo, and he will fill us in on that. And then I would like to think that you'd agree that at 11:30 till 12, and if it goes 10 minutes over, it doesn't really matter, because that's our lunch hour prior to that final council meeting for the year, that we'd hear from Taupo Sculpture Trust about the giant cycle sculpture. So out of those requests, does anybody have any comments there?
Just for your information, the Te Ara River Iwi Trust are available on the 13th, if you so wish to have.
We wouldn't be able to fit the 3 in, would we?
Have them.
Can you fit 3 in?
It might be that possibly one of the harbour master could be as a presentation through the council meeting as opposed to
item number 1.
a workshop, and the Sculpture Trust is also probably more of a presentation because they're actually asking for permission in terms of the sculpture, and then the River Trust could be the workshop in the morning.
If my fellow councillors agree with me, can we allow 2 half-hour presentations before lunch after the citizenship ceremony, and we'll give one agenda item number 1 to a half-hour presentation from one of those 3, however you deem it to be most important, and leave it to you to set it up. Were you fellow councillors happy with that? That's the process we talked about in agenda item number 13. So I don't say who comes and who doesn't come, you get to say. And that's the applications that we've got at the moment. Yep.
The Sculpture Trust one, we would put that, as we have in the past, up as part of a loss report, because obviously you would need from us our assessment in terms of the site that we've chosen, etc. So that could probably be done as part of the normal agenda.
So we do that agenda. So would that be prudent to do that as agenda item number, or a agenda item? And have the Harbour Master and Te Ara River Iwi Trust as 2 half-hour presentations. They're just giving us information, aren't they? We don't have an input telling the Harbour Master what to do, and we don't have an input on telling Te Ara River Trust what to do either.
Mr. Chairman, could I suggest that the Te Ara River Trust would probably be more appropriate as a workshop, because you are very much starting some discussions that will be ending up in a memorandum of understanding, and there is some time frames around that. We understand that we actually have to have a memorandum of understanding basically in May next year, so it would be good to actually get those started. So maybe a workshop.
The information I was given that they wanted half an hour to do a presentation, you're changing that to a workshop. Why don't we have the presentation and see if a workshop is necessary from the presentation? Because I simply haven't got time in the diary to fit in a 2 or 3 hour workshop. I'm trying to squeeze this between a citizenship ceremony and a council meeting. What do you want me to do?
And Mr. Chairman, that's the time that the River Trust would be available between the citizenship ceremony and the council
How long
meeting.
do they require?
They only want between half an hour and an hour.
So let's go back to what I said. Te Ara Trust for half an hour.
Yep.
Philip King, the Harbour Master, for half an hour. Can drag a little bit into the lunch hour. We only need half an hour at most if it's really important. And we make the Sculpture Trust an agenda item. Everybody happy with that?
Do I understand that you're putting off the cycle challenge?
I'm putting the cycle. Putting this giant cycle sculpture as an agenda item with a staff report to approve it or disapprove it.
At the
Full council.
At the full council meeting on December the 13th.
Okay, that's fine.
Councillor Johnson.
The top 3, have they not been able to fit in, or they've requested, obviously, but...
They've requested, and I haven't managed to contact them in terms of any availability for the 13th, and really need to have a steer from you as to whether you want to have those presentations or workshops.
Who was that from? Apologies. Top 3.
Fishery, Animal Health Board and Waikato Regional Council.
Councillor Dano.
Mr. Chairman, can we put those 3 off till next year? We're pretty jammed up.
Which 3? The top 3?
Yeah,
I have no intention of. I've just asked you to approve what I've asked you to approve. Those wait till next year.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We're only approving. No, that's all we're approving.
Yep.
That's the list. Hey, the list could have 10 names on it by the new year, because people ring up, basketball clubs, all sorts of people ring up and they want to come and do presentations to council. All this is about is letting you make the decision of who comes and who doesn't. And that's what I'm suggesting at the moment, unless you want to suggest different. those three. And one becomes an agenda item because I think we know what that presentation's all about from this giant cycle sculpture, and maybe we can approve it at the same day. And then it's all over Rover.
It's not a long one, that one.
All good, Councillor Craig? All good with everybody else?
Yep.
So, Councillor down at the bottom, the suggested resolution, we fill that in there with Councillor Mincher in number 4. And the following workshops were Tiara River Trails, and they were DIA Harbour Master, and Sculpture Trust, Giant Cycle Sculpture goes to an agenda item. Mover for that, please. Move, Councillor Crate, second, and Councillor Mincher, all in favour?